Good evening, it's 10 o'clock. I'm Anne Marie Tiernan along with Angela Buckman.
How you doing? It's Tuesday.
We're hanging in there.
Yeah.
I kind of tired. I had my
She's
glasses.
a week and a half on nights, and this is different for you.
I know, I had my glasses on just a few minutes ago. I was like giving my eyes a little bit of a break with the contacts and trying to decide whether we should wear glasses for this or not. And I thought, at the advice of one of our esteemed colleagues here, Jason Roscoe said, you better put your contacts back. You know,
you never know what's going to show up in the comments.
You never know.
Although, you know, some of our faithful viewers would have probably liked them.
Yes.
Because they're kind of hip looking.
I don't know. They're pretty thick.
That's all right. They were hip looking.
Earlier we were talking about LASIK. Like,
yes.
You know, is it like, I've been not doing it all these years. Now maybe,
maybe it's time? Or is it past the point? Because see, at some point then your eyes start to go in the other direction.
Right.
Shout at me if you know where I am at this point, where you're like, wait a minute.
Give us some.
So now I do this? Okay. So maybe I don't need it. Maybe it'll just correct itself after time. In about 10 years.
Wouldn't that be great? Fine. It'll all come back. And I did, you know, we've had no word from Scott. He's had some time off. You know, I did text him tonight. I just hate to bother him during his time off, you know, but said, waiting for you to come back. It's not as fun when you're not here, you know. And he said, well, thanks. And he says, I have a gift for you.
Ooh.
So we'll have to see what that is.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, so we have quite a funny history of giving gifts to each other.
Yes, you do. And in full disclosure, he always took his family, and now it's just Janae, on a surprise trip. And I'm sure he's talked about it before, where basically he tells them what to pack and doesn't tell them where they're going, and he did that with Janae. Right. So I'm interested. I can't wait till Friday to find out where they went.
Yeah, so they're back in town now. They went on their trip. They're back in town. I think they went to they were at the Addicts Wake viewing last night for Heartland Film Festival. I think they're doing some staycation days, and they'll be back on Friday, and then we'll find out.
But I said, are we doing shorts and swimsuits? And he said yes.
Yes.
So
where
they went.
My bet. Okay, so my top two would be some Disney location because they love Disney, or maybe Hawaii because that was they lived there earlier part of their marriage, and you know, I think it's a big trip. They want to celebrate, you know, her regained health, and that would be you know, that'd be a big trip going to Hawaii. So if it's anything short of that, I'm going to be disappointed.
Scott, you better have a good. Better have gone somewhere fun.
Yeah. All right, so let's change hard gears here. We did really hear the disappointing news today from IMPD that they have an officer that they said was behaving badly. And this is a sergeant who's been on the force for 14 years, caught on camera, kicking somebody, was a homeless man in the face on Monument Circle.
While he was down.
While he was down on the ground and kicked him in the face. And so now they're taking action, releasing the video. And Randy Taylor, who's the police chief, was saying, you know, he was wanting to take steps to get this person off the force. And so those steps are underway. There's review boards and investigation and a lot of agencies that are involved. But today, our Emily Longnecker was at the press conference and brings us up to date on this Sergeant Huxley matter.
IMPD Chief Randall Taylor called the actions of that officer, the actions that can be seen on that video, outrageous, and says IMPD began an internal investigation after seeing the body camera footage of that arrest here on Monument Circle from last month.
We're done.
That's Jermaine Vaughn on the ground, under arrest for disorderly conduct. Court records show Vaughn, who is homeless, was yelling loudly on the circle last month, prompting his arrest after he refused to quiet down when officers first approached him. Body camera footage from IMPD officer Matthew Shores and Sergeant Christopher Kibbe captured the moment at different angles of when IMPD Sergeant Eric Huxley can be seen kicking Vaughn in the head and face while he's on his back in handcuffs. Huxley, a 14-year police veteran, is facing level 6 felony charges of official misconduct and felony battery. He's suspended without pay, and Chief Taylor has recommended he be fired. The other two officers are still under internal investigation. Chief Taylor says he's releasing the footage after promising transparency.
But I understand after watching this video, there's going to be some people who are upset, and we'll hope to mend those fences where we can.
Local pastors and ministers say the swiftness of how IMPD handled this case is a start. They called into question Sergeant Huxley's actions, not only where they pertain to race. All 3 officers are white, Vaughn is black, but also in the context of faith. Vaughn is also homeless.
Somehow the dynamics work differently when there's a white person in a blue uniform with a badge and there's a black victim. I don't know if this officer is a Christian.
Quoting scripture.
As often as you do it unto the least of these, you do it unto me. And so this officer did not kick this homeless man, he kicked Jesus in the face.
So again, the investigation is underway and we'll keep you updated on that. In other news tonight, we learned that there is a great need for help to make sure that we're honoring those who have sacrificed their lives for our country, our veterans. Out at Crown Hill Cemetery, Logan Gay brings us this story.
Volunteers with Wreaths Across America have their hands full this year. This holiday season, they will be responsible for laying a wreath on 5,000 veterans' graves in Crown Hill Cemetery. A wreath may seem like a simple gesture, but it means so much more.
Our belief is that you really die twice. You die once physically, and then you die a second time spiritually as people stop saying your name and stop remembering who you are. And we don't want that for any soldier.
Right now, Wreaths Across America have 858 wreaths sponsored. That's far short of the 5,000 needed. Organizers say if they don't get enough wreaths, some veterans will have to go without one for the holidays.
There's a lot of folks there in Indiana who don't want to see those empty stones, and they want to think about that family who is heading towards that empty stone, and they don't want to see that kind of disappointment. It's a profound disappointment. So they want to see all of those stones covered.
That's why the organization is getting the word out now, so every fallen hero is remembered with a wreath.
We have our freedom thanks to them, and we want to make sure that they understand and see us remembering their sacrifice and remembering not only their sacrifices, but the sacrifices of their family.
Okay, if you would like to help, each wreath costs $15, and we have information on how you can make a donation or join the cause online at WTHR.com. This was a story that really caught our attention today.
It did, and I missed the fact earlier when it ran that we only have enough for 852 and we need 5,000, so that's quite a bit. So if you can spare $15 and sponsor a wreath, that'd be great.
Yeah, so hopefully take some action and say thank you to those families. I would not like it for those families to go and see that their loved one didn't have a wreath, that they were remembered.
Yeah.
All right. We do talk a lot, it seems, at least recently, about getting ready for the holidays, getting ready for winter.
Anne's not happy about this.
I just think it's a little crazy that we're talking about Christmas and it's really October 12th.
Yes, we have not reached Halloween yet.
No, but but there is some planning, of course, that is necessary. I don't think you necessarily need to do all your Christmas shopping, but for the city, they need to make sure that they've bought the salt and that they have gotten all the right equipment and everything for when the snow comes, and they've done that.
Yes.
And today they released some
final
news.
names.
Yes, their plans for fighting the snow in the city, and they bought some new trucks, and then they named the trucks. So we want to show you this. It was pretty clever. This was something where the viewers or residents were able to vote, and they came up with these new names for these new plows. So check it out.
Yeah, and we talked about this when they first came out, when the voting started. And I have to say, I am so happy that Will Plower made the list. I think it got the most votes. It was my favorite.
Yeah, that is very cute.
It's just sums up Indianapolis in, 2 words.
Yeah, it really does. and with the play on plow, I like the Larry Bird.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And Buzz Ice Clear, of course, Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
I'm sure a few kids got in on that one. And Blizzard Wizard, yeah, it rhymes, it's cute, but you can't beat Will Plower.
I agree. That's the best one. You're right.
It is.
As always.
It is right. It is good.
All right, so today, it wasn't as warm as I thought it was going to be, and it was kind of more gray. I just was thinking today was going to be a better weather day than it ended up being overall.
I thought so too. I thought especially by at least mid-afternoon we'd start to see a little more sunshine. Now we did have places in the 70s, western part of the state, Terre Haute was in the mid-70s with sun a good part of the day. The rest of us were just kind of stuck in the clouds. But at least we're done with the storms for now. And speaking of snow plowing, now I don't have any in the Ford. She just gave me a look like
snow plowing.
Like, wait a minute, that look like, are you going to say there's snow coming? No, I'm not going to say there's snow coming. But I did get your head to turn.
Yes, well, there's snow in Tahoe. We
yes.
found that. We found that. Sean found that, and we saw some video of that. But that's it, right?
Well, Park City, Dave's in Park City doing some
Utah
early
for the
reports.
Olympics.
Yes, and he has snow, and I'm going to show you where else we have snow. Wow. Not here. We're obviously still on the warm side of things. We're getting a break from the storms, but as we go west, we've got everything from tornado watches across parts of Oklahoma into Texas, and then winter storm warnings across parts of Montana and Wyoming. And yes, that is some snow. I point this out because this is a weather system that will eventually move our way. It won't be quite as strong as it gets here, but we will feel the impact from this weather system with a cool down on tap for the weekend. Our rain chances will also start to ramp up. Not much in the way of rain expected the next couple of days, but can't rule out a couple of showers. Soggiest will be on Friday, and we may end Friday with a couple of thunderstorms. Tomorrow out the door 56, so kids may need a sweatshirt at the bus stop. 66 at noon. I can't promise a bright day tomorrow either. Little sunshine early and then more clouds than sun tomorrow afternoon with a stray shower.
You know, I'm really interested in what the weather looks like for Saturday for IU's homecoming. They're hosting Michigan State.
Right now, everything that I look at has what is coming on Friday being out of here late Friday night, clearing on Saturday, but sweatshirt weather.
Oh, cool.
Jacket weather, yes. Is it a midday game?
I think it's a noon game.
A noon game, okay.
Yeah.
So at least the sun will be shining and that will help, but we're talking 60.
Yeah.
55 to 60 and
cool.
Cooler than that if you're tailgating in the morning.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be fun.
If the weather's good.
The weather's going to be fine.
Down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our news for now. Is there anything that is there any real
we
quick?
have lots of people checking in. Yes, we should probably say hi to a few
really
people.
Quickly. Perfect evening for a run and a workout outside. It is nice and cool for that.
It
Absolutely.
was. And Dustin, who we worked with earlier, he worked the early part of the day. His wife had texted and said, hurry home because I want to go on a walk. And it really, we started to clear just in time for that.
Right.
Teresa saying the window's open, a little chilly out there this evening. Glenn checking in. Joyce checking in.
Renee says that she started her holiday shopping.
You know, Renee, I've bought a few things.
Yeah.
I like to space it out a little bit.
I have a few things. When I see something that's like, this will be perfect, you know, I buy it, you know. But I don't really think this is the time to be focusing on Christmas. No. No, it's like, I really am kind of a more like, let's enjoy today. Let's be mindful of like what's happening now. And I just don't want to get all wrapped around the axle about, you know, I've got so much to do and there's so much to experience before then.
Before you have to worry about what day to ship your packages. We'll make sure
Which is in December, and there's various dates, and we have it for you online.
Yeah, plenty prepared. Tab from Hartford City, Teresa checking in. She's one of our regulars. Kelly saying, hey, Tina and Justin. So thanks all for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to go put some fine tuning on the newscast. We'll be back at 11. Hope you join us over on Channel 13. Have a great Tuesday night.